What we're going to talk a little bit about today and exploring 3 ways that you would like to invigorate your life, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about those areas. These are the 3 areas that we're going to set some goals. My first one is creating. And creating in the form of writing, journaling, poetry, beading. And I'm not talking about going to like a paint by numbers. I'm talking about something where you're making active choices without any necessary consequences. You're just exploring what's happening on the inside of you from on the outside. So where in your life could you begin to get more creative? And this is what children do. Think about what children do in order to feel excited and curious about life. They're doing these 3 things every day. All right, number 2, exploring. How could you be exploring in your world a little bit more? Do you have the same routine, the same way you go to work every day? Do you walk your dog the same route every day? Now again, some routines are not a bad thing. For example, my husband's got a very strict morning routine. He does everything in the morning the exact same way. But one thing that he does is he never eats the same thing twice. He always tries something new. So he's always exploring novelty out there. And I'll tell you this, that hasn't always gone well. We went to a fair one year, and he was looking at the menu, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna do it. It was hands down the worst thing, without a doubt, on the menu. Have you guys ever heard of a coolickle? It's a pickle that they've had submerged in Kool-Aid for who knows how long. I don't even want to know. And now it's red, right? And it is probably the most disgusting thing I have ever smelled and tasted in my entire life. But what's funny about it is he's got that story to tell, and he can say, yep, guys, I've tried it. And 2, I mean, he has something novel that's happening in his life, and it adds that sense of I'm alive. Even if that thing that I tried was awful, now I'm alive to tell that story about how awful that thing was. And so there are the people who I've found in my life who seem to have a lot of joy and contentment in their life. That is one thing that they do a lot of, is they are constantly exploring. So how could you be exploring? Would it mean during your lunch break? Would it mean taking your kids to a new park? What would exploring look like for you? So creating, exploring. The last part of this is engaging, really engaging in your relationships. And when I say engaging, this is not through email, this is not through text, this is face-to-face. There has been a lot of research on the power of connecting with people in a face-to-face way. Whether it's this, online, and Skype and FaceTime, or in person, there's so much power in actually being able to reach out and touch that person and give them a hug. There are so many endorphins and serotonin that's released just when you give someone a hug, or when someone touches you on the leg or on the arm. It's unbelievable, the power of having face-to-face contact. I'm talking about that immediacy of interactive engagement, my turn, your turn conversation. Even as awkward and weird and uncomfortable and anxiety producing as it can be, it is so healing and powerful for us. And this is what children do. Children don't care about some of it. When the TV's going, you'll see that children, of course, they're attracted to the TV, but they're also still very curious about one another. As soon as they see you doing something different, they run up and they want to see what you're doing. There's that element of curiosity when it comes to people, experiences, and creativity, their internal mind. So even if it were 5 or 10 minutes or one little shift in your day, how could you do something creative? How could you explore your world in just a different way, a little different way? And sometimes you can do 2 for 1. 3, how could you engage in your relationships a little more deeply, or develop a new relationship, or rekindle an old relationship, or explore with your current relationship? These 3 things How could you add that to your day